What is going on, you guys? It is Dee Dee from Dee Dee's Alchemy. This video is just going to be me talking. Okay, we not pulling no cards. This is kind of like in response to the reading that I just did. Okay, we're not going to pull no cards here. But it's just like a little chit chat. I'm recording. Yeah, it's just like a little chit chat. So I want to talk about in alchemy the different layers of thought when it comes to your thought patterns and how you think and stuff like that, to like actually help you expand your consciousness and grow, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Okay, but I just want to talk about that and sit in that for a minute. Okay, because I noticed when that Seven of Swords, and even if you don't watch tarot or whatever, this is just giving more explanation just aside from the cards, just what I've been learning and studying. Okay, so when it comes to like your thought process and dealing with working with alchemy, like they understood that there's different levels. Okay, there's different levels of thought, there's different levels of how you process things as well. So when it comes to the first layer of thought, this is you speaking without sorry y'all, this is when you are like speaking without considering what you're saying. You're actually just in that first layer of thought, you know, like that's where that saying comes from, think before you speak. So that also happens when we are channeling as well. We just start speaking, but when you get in that first layer of thought, you're speaking without considering actually what it is that you're saying. Okay, and when you move to a different layer of thought, which is the second layer, y'all stay with me. Okay, in the second layer, that's when you start to have conversations or arguments with people, and it's like all in your head. Like it's not a physical person, but you could be going on about your day. You could be washing dishes, whatever it is that you're doing, like at home or at work or whatever. But you could be like having conversations or any type of arguments or any type of conflicting situations or issues, like in your mind. When you're in your head, you just constantly going back and forth. It's kind of like telepathy and people who have strong telepathy abilities and clairaudient abilities, and the clairaudient is your psychic hearing. Okay, so people who have those type of abilities very strong, they can actually get themselves stuck in that layer of thought where you're constantly in conflict or in battle, or you're just having these conversations with people that are not even fucking real, and you're just going back and forth with yourself. Okay, so that's when you're still like a very low vibrational. I know from experience, when things like that happen, shut it off. Positive affirmations. I am well. I am well. I am healthy. I am rich. I am that bitch. I mean, whatever you gotta say. Okay, say whatever it is that you gotta say to yourself when those layers of thoughts happen, because at the end of the day, you're manifesting. Because we're all alchemists, I believe. You're manifesting. So when you're in a certain thought process and those type of, crap or, stuff come up, it is not just to shush it away, but understand like, hey, this is not real. I need to be in the present moment. This, what is going on, is not a real conversation. Dead that. If there's a conversation that you actually need to have with someone about something, then you can put that, you can write that in your journal, you can write that in your note, you can release that somehow, but do not entertain. When you're in that second layer of thought, it is best to not entertain those type of conversations or arguments that you may have with yourself as well. Okay, now the third layer of thought, this is when you are figuring things out. You're being strategic. You're trying to fix and solve problems. This is where a lot of us, like highly sensitive spiritual individuals, I believe we all are. This is where we go into meditation. Meditation is very important because it helps you to not just do. Not just trying to fix things and solve problems by doing, but actually sitting in meditation to hear the solutions, or hear any type of problems you may need, or type of solutions you may need to your problems. Okay, it's kind of like when we go into prayer, we're asking, we're thanking, we're giving honor and respect, and you know, all that stuff when we're speaking to our guides. And sitting in meditation is, I'm showing spirit that I am sitting here in meditation because my desire, my intentions is to receive. So that's when you're in the third layer of thought. When you're sitting in meditation, you may be trying to just figure some things out, or trying to come up with a strategy, or like just strategizing how you're going to do certain things, because we all understand that it happens in the mind first. Okay, now because there's actually 7 layer of thought, so I don't know how many of these I'll get into. It's 5. I want to actually be quick. Okay, I have things to do. When you're in the 4th layer of thought, this is where this layer of thought, you're like pondering, you're being curious, and you're sitting back without being engaged in a situation. Like you're not actually doing anything, you're just sitting back and pondering. It's kind of like, you know how if you're watching TV, or you're watching something on TV, and you just end up like going off into like another space or another dimension, and you just in that energy, and you're just sitting back without being engaged, and you're asking yourself, I wonder how that will unfold. Like you'll think about something like, I wonder how that would unfold. That's where a lot of us spiritual teachers, or a lot of us guys, will come in to give you messages to say, if this is your energy, we're reading the energy, this is actually how things can unfold. Like this will be the outcome, or this is the energy, so it can help you with your manifestation. Okay, so yeah, so that's where you're in that. I wonder how things will unfold for me. What an interesting possibility. That's why you're thinking about all the possibilities, like, oh, this can happen, or what if this happened, or what if that happened, stuff like that. Okay, and you're actually not having any type of, I wrote this a couple months ago. You're actually having, I wish I was supposed to bring this to you guys like a couple months ago, but I guess it's the perfect time to do it now. So you're actually having no emotional attachment or judgment to those thoughts. You're not judging yourself for what it is that you're thinking about, or what is actually coming into your mind. You're just allowing it to actually unfold. You're just sitting back and like you're just watching a movie, and you're just allowing possibilities and things to unfold without actually being emotionally tied to it. Okay, so in this energy, there is no stress and no external demands. Or when you want to get into this energy, make sure that you're not under any type of stress. You know, that's why we go into the meditation first. Make sure that you're not under any type of stress, or you don't have any external demands. Like I just said, I want to be quick because I got stuff to do. It's just a demand that I put on myself, that I just be doing dumb shit. I just be busying myself with stuff because I like to. So yeah, that's just make sure when you want to get into this layer of thought, you not having no stress. You could be out by the beach, you could be out by the water, you could be listening to some sound frequencies, some chakra music, but just like, you know, you can sit into meditation and get into this thought space as well. You may also be pondering, maybe it's time to consider like buying a vehicle, or maybe it's time to consider moving. I know a lot of us are moving, or buying vehicles, or purchasing something, or whatever it is that you could be, whatever comes to you. It's just like having that you are pondering something. Like maybe it's time to consider, I put down here for an example, buying a vehicle. I wonder what I would like to purchase. Like really going into that space of all is possible. Like there is nothing with this Matthew 17:20 that I said today. Like if you have faith as small as that mustard seed, and you're actually putting the work towards it because you have the faith behind you, it's like you actually put your mind space into that realm. Okay, and you'll be asking stuff like, I wonder what I would like to purchase. Don't go searching. Don't go get online and, you know, talking to people. Don't allow yourself to do any type of searching. This is all thought process. Okay, Don't go searching. Allow your thoughts to unfold itself. Allow your thoughts to bring to you possibilities, because we limit ourselves. Okay, that's why meditation is very important. Yeah. And when you also do that, my throat getting trapped. When you also do that, you allow for a less stressful experience. You allow yourself to experience these thought process and this energy with less stress and without any type of anxiety of, oh, I don't have this, or how can I do that? Just like really putting yourself in a position of lack, instead of it's nothing wrong. You're not hurting nobody. Being in your head and thinking about all the possibilities and what could be possible, because you're allowing it to come to you. It's not from your own understanding. It is from a higher place as well. Okay, that's the fourth layer of thought. When we get into the fifth layer of thought, this is where things get creative, okay? And things get quiet. You ever heard white noise? I hear it now. It's in both of my ears. When things get really quiet, and it's white noise, silence is very loud, okay? It is very loud. But this is a space where things get really creative, okay? And your consciousness begins naturally, and it tries to like organically pull things together and like put all the floating pieces together, and it's just amazing when it actually happens. But this is equivalent to being in the zone. Like you so much in the zone that if somebody like takes you out of your zone, it like, startle you a bit. When people are in the zone, they can do like automatic writing, they can do journaling, they can be charting, anything like create. You know how painters, like they'll just be in the zone and they'll be creating. I remember when I would get into the zone, when I would like use the gym as my space, or just outside, and just like really be in that zone and just creating. It is like, it's amazing. Okay, I don't know what else to say, but this is where you're in the fifth layer of thought, and you bring things toward your workbench so that you can start organizing, and things becoming real. Like the possibilities start to become real. So that's when you take in, you can use a pencil, because pencils are more, they're more, child, pencils ain't even sharpening, girl. Let's get over here. Okay, you got your paper. You got your paper and you got your pencil, and this one you just like, you just start automatic writing, and you're writing all these possibilities, and like now you're starting to materialize it. Now you're starting to make it real on a piece of paper, okay? That is when you're in that fifth layer of thought. That is creativity. That is the joy. That is the fun, childlike energy as well. And you can also look at your, I heard fifth. You can also look at your fifth house in your natal chart and see what energy governs your fifth house, because that is the house of the creativity, romance, child, fun. Like it's very like your personal way that you create. Okay, if you do candle magic, candle manifestation, whatever it is that you do and you create, that's when you're in that fifth layer of thought. Like, shit, all is possible, baby. And you start to write things down so that you can solidify, and you get that page of Pentacles energy, and actually creating a solid plan, not just throwing shit to the wind. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about. Okay, so when it comes to, when you're in that energy as well, make sure that you are protecting your aura. Make sure that you are protecting yourself. Be mindful of what your senses. I see 12. Taste, touch, feel, hear, see. Be very, very mindful of your senses in that time, because when you're in that zone and you allow someone else's negative energy to be projected onto you, that's when the self-doubt comes. Like, I don't know if I can do this. Oh my God, I can't do this. That's when that doubt creeps in. So make sure that you are protecting yourself in divine white light. Ask your guides to protect you as you get into that zone, especially when you're doing meditation. Some people will cover their head. They do all kinds of stuff, but make sure that you're protected as well. Okay. The sixth layer of thought. This is when you reach a vibration where there is no thought at all. You're in a high meditation. This is when a person can like sit still for hours, in an awareness that, man, this shit feels so good. A motherfucker better not come in here and bother me. And for some reason, majority of the time when I'm in this energy, you know, it'll be like my kids will come in and say something, and I'm like, I gotta get up and do this, and I'm just like, I'm in the flow. Okay, you just in the flow of things. If somebody may call your phone and text you, just like, you know, this is what a lot of distractions can come as well. That's why I said make sure that when you're in that fifth layer of thought, when you just in a zone, you create and protect yourself. Or just remember to get back to, you know, especially whatever that you wrote, get back to it. Don't allow self-doubt to creep in. Okay, so when you're in that awareness, you can sit still for hours and be like, oh, this shit feels so good. Especially when you're sitting like cross-legged Indian style, or you just sitting however. Like you get this feeling that you don't want to get up. It is an extremely quiet place where you begin to access deeper fields of awareness. This is when it is quiet. If it's not quiet, you got some type of frequency playing. You can have some type of music playing. I don't know, whatever it is that you do. Sometimes I can listen to music. Sometimes the music, it has to be complete silence. Okay, that's just me. You do what you do. These thoughts will start to enter the physical form from the non-physical. So this is where things coming from a different dimension into the physical realm. Okay, and when this is so cool, when you're in this space, and when this happens, when you're in a space and when this happens, you'll start to actually see your manifestations. Like this is a good example. You ever been in, you ever wanted a car? Like, I know I wanted this truck, so I just kept seeing this truck in my spirit, right? It was a Range Rover. Ain't got a Range Rover, but you know, it's kind of like that. Like when you're on a road, you start seeing it all over the place, or someone that you know may get a certain vehicle or whatever it is. Okay, I'm just using the vehicle because that's what I wrote down, Chad. Like somebody could just get a new car, they can get a vehicle, and you start seeing that every goddamn time you go out. Like now all of a sudden your awareness is open to where you constantly see it all the time. It is weird. Okay, it happens like that with just all type of stuff as well. Okay, that's when the thoughts enter from the, you know, enter the physical from the non-physical, because you're actually attracting it and you're drawing it to you. Okay, that is the alchemy process. Like you'll physically start to see it in your reality. It may be a commercial, it may be me just posting a message like, I was just thinking about that. Okay, that's when you're in your manifestation process. Now the process, I'm just going to talk real quick on the process of alchemy. Okay, it's real quick. The alchemy process is changing the harmonics of matter, rearranging changing the harmonics of matter, rearranging the frequency of your thoughts, applying the elements of love, okay, which is the highest vibration, rearranging the molecule and instantaneously begin to produce whatever it is that you desire. And yeah, that is when you're in the sixth layer of thought. I didn't know that I didn't remember. Yeah. So that is the process of how things are actually things work. If you want more information or research on this, you can actually read the Course in Manifesting Alchemy, or you can read Alchemy for Dummies, that book as well. But yeah, that is that's the process. You just changing the harmonics of matter. Like, I don't give a fuck what it is, I'm gonna change the shit. And then you start to rearrange your thought process, getting into meditation. You apply the elements of love. Know that you are a loving light being. Rearrange the molecules instantaneously to begin to produce whatever it is as desired. That's how you can actually physically see it in your reality, because you'll be seeing it all over you. Like, damn, this thing, is this following me? That's when you are, you know, being a magnet at that time. Now, the last layer of thought is the seventh layer, and this is the indefinable layer. This is where you and the thought that thought you into existence think together. What? This is when you and God is in harmony. This is when you and God, you and Source, you and Divine Creator, you are in harmony with each other. And that is you gotta experience. It's an experience, honey. It is an experience. Okay, that's all I can say when you get in that layer of thought. And probably during this time, this probably when you probably gonna go to sleep. Because I tell you, it feels so good that you can actually fall into a sleep and actually have a wonderful dream. You'll feel like you have been dreaming sleeping for hours, when it's probably just 10-15 minutes of a quick little nap. But it's very calming. And from my experience, that's why I always promote that my journal, not my journal, but the journal I bought from the House of Oshun, the 9-day journey to mindfulness, because it also helps you with your patterns of behavior. It helped me with how I behave when these things are actually starting to come into my physical existence. Like when things are manifesting, what it is, the steps that actually occur for me. It is different for everybody. Okay, it's like you come into union with source, and then things just start happening. Your diet may change. You may be only able to consume like a lot of fruits and a lot of water, and you can just be thirsty and just I don't know what it is, but it could be something. And that is why these two things are the best thing that you can use, because writing is everything, honey. So that is all I have. I just wanted to give those quick tidbits on like the thought process when it comes to manifesting from experience, what I've learned. I pray that this helps someone. If it does help you, if you like this message, go ahead and click like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know how the process works for you. And I appreciate you guys for staying this long to watch this message, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand this, and we do go through most of this stuff so that we can bring it to you. But all right, let me stop talking. I gotta go. Bye, y'all.